everybody, how are you? I'm Pep the Poet, and I've come along today to share with you some of my wonderful little characters that I've got within my 3 books, Peter Pants, Quentin the Squirrel, and the Funky Peacock. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with Peter himself. Now, this came about when I was thinking one day of all the items of clothing in your wardrobe, if they were all asking who'd got the best job. People said my nice flowery skirt or my shirt or my onesie. But then I thought, who's got the worst job? And obviously the worst job's going to be your pants. So this is called Peter Pants. Peter Pants began to dance around the bedroom floor, and the washing basket, they all looked on, and the clothes, they yelled for more. And Fifi French, the flirty shirt, she whispered, Peter, I love your thing. And Vin the vest was dead impressed, and he was completely made of string. Now Peter spun, he ducked and dived and flew backwards in midair. Ian Ty says, I'll have some of that, and he slithered from the chair. Jim and Jock the tartan socks began to rock and roll, but Jock the sock said, I think we'll have to stop. Jim, we've got a hole. The sponge and the flannel danced the cha-cha-cha, and the hand held the boogaloo. Pete gave a wink to the lady in pink and said, Madam, how do you do? But soon the party parted. In walked a superstar. She was white, she was lacy, she was rather racy. Her name was Barbara Bra. Now Barbara sauntered up to Pete and she grabbed him by his wires. She kissed his cheek, his knees went weak, and then he began to cry. He says, oh, come on, Barbara, love. This is well beyond a joke. I'm an old pair of pants. I don't want to dance, and I think my elastic's broke. Yeah. So that's the first one, was Peter Pants. And I love Peter. Now, he's joined by another little fella called Terry. And I don't know if you know that all tadpoles and all frogs come from Liverpool. And they speak with a Scouse accent. Look at me, I'm a frog. I'm all green and I jump on lily pads. That's what they do. So this one's called Terry the Tadpole. I'm Terry the Tadpole and I live in a bog. And my mum says when I'm older, I'll look like a frog. Being a frog would be such an honour, because at the moment, I look like a comma. Now, the last one from Peter Pants. As you know, ants and tadpoles speak with a Scouse accent. Spiders speak with a Geordie accent. Bumblebees speak with a Birmingham accent. And finally, I don't know if you know, but worms are actually Scottish. Look at me, I'm a wee worm. I'm underneath the ground. And this one's called Willie the Worm. I'm Willie the Worm. I roll and wriggle. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I giggle. I dig the dirt and that's what I do. Under the ground and away from you. Away from birds that peck my brain when I pop up my head after it rains. See fishermen, they grab me just for fun. Stick big hooks in my wiggly bum. Being a worm is a hard, hard life. But I thank the Lord for my wee wormy wife. So there's my 3 from Peter Pants. And I love Peter Pants. This is my first book. And some of these poems are written about 15, 20 years ago. And I never had them published because I didn't have the confidence. So if you're out there and you're a writer and you've got a song or a poem or story, just share it with somebody, and don't let that inner voice, that inner fear log, that inner dialogue of fear telling you it's wrong. Don't do it. So my next one, I'll move on to Quentin the Squirrel. Now Quentin the Squirrel, there was two. I used to teach a little girl called Maisie and her twin brothers, and they were called Ellis and James. And I've been given permission off the mums and dads to use the names. And during lockdown last year, they sent me a picture of a dragon. And I remember I sent the poem straight back to them. And this is called James, My Fiery Bum Dragon. And it's got to be recited in a black country accent. And if there's anybody from the black country watching this, I do apologise, because it's nothing like a black country accent. But it's the best I can do. My name's Ellis, and I like bragging. But for my 6th birthday, I got a pet dragon. Oh, he's ever so cool. His name's James. But when he trumps, he blows out flames. Now, fiery farts are becoming a problem, especially for James in his fiery bottom. He let one rip whilst in my kitchen, and now my cat, he looks like a barbecued chicken. At school, he gets such funny looks, because his bottom burped and it burnt me books. He can't eat beans or Brussels sprouts, just in case he lets one out. My poor sister Maisie, she's looking glum, because no one likes a dragon with a flame-throwing bum. Do you like that one? I love that one. It's one of my favourites. And I'm going to have a little tiny drink. It's called poetry juice. If you drink orange juice, it's good for your throat, apparently. This was I was a teacher at a little school in Codsall called St Christopher's, beautiful little school. And last year there was a young lad called George, and one of the children said, "Mr. Anderson," that's my real name, David Anderson. "Mr. Anderson, my pen's run out." So what? He said, "My pen's died," because it'd run out of ink. And he said, but George said, "Mr. Anderson, do pens go to heaven?" And I thought, do they? But I thought, if pens do go to heaven, what are all the other things that go to heaven as well? So, do pens go to heaven when they run out of ink? And what about thoughts when they no longer think? What about a dream after it's been dreamt? And I've heard that sometimes a dream was heaven sent. Do batteries go to heaven when they finally run out? And what about potatoes when they begin to sprout? Are clothes all cheered on their arrival, or is heaven a place where they get recycled? Do books go to heaven after they've been read? And what about food and mouldy old bread? What about trains, planes and worn out shoes? And once in heaven, are they all brand new? Do mosquitoes go to heaven along with midges? And what about toasters and battered old fridges? Or what about a niche after it's been scratched? Or a really hard question after it's been asked? Do fireworks go to heaven with a great big boom? And what about dustpans and worn out brooms? What about light bulbs when they no longer shine? Or do they guide you to heaven in a great big line? I love that one. I love the idea of a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine, Billy Connolly. And he said once that he wasn't funny. He says, all I do is I make the ordinary extraordinary. And that's all I try and do with my poems. I just try and put a little tiny bit of a spin on things. Now, my next book is called The Funky Peacock. And it's been released on the 21st of June. That's that day, hopefully, the whole world comes back together. Now, it's ready to go to the printers, and it's not in print yet. So I can only show you a picture via my iPad. So there's the Funky Peacock. Now, one of the ideas I got from this one was, with all the lockdown, we can't go on holiday, and we're all waiting for the borders to be opened up, and we're all waiting so we can go away and go to the seaside and join our friends. But I was thinking, what about numbers? Do numbers ever go on holiday? So, and I think they do. So this one's called Number Fun. Count me in. Number 1 was looking for fun, so we gave number 2 a shout. Says, "Hey, up 2, how do you do? Do you fancy a nice day out?" Now, Theodore 3, he'd left his key in a mat outside the door. And Fifi 5 sprang into life. She pushed in front of 4. 6 and 7, they suggested Devon because of the bright sunshine. And Ollie 8 said, "That's just great, but have we invented 9? Now, Timothy 10 was happy again after his sad depression. And without any fuss, he got on the bus and sat down next to number 11. 12 soon arrived with their cases stacked high, munching on a blueberry muffin. "My name is 12, I'm by myself, but you can call me Dozen." 13 and 14 both arrived, like stars of the silver screen. Then 15 and 16 turned up with bandanas and faded jeans. Ellie 18 had been learning French, and she proudly announced from the edge of her seat, I'm no longer called Ellie 18. Je m'appelle Ellie de Suite." Now, Ned 19, he was a real cool guy, but he was looking rather perplexed. "I've been learning Roman numerals. From now on, my name is X1X. "Oi, 2-0, are we ready to go? We've got food and drink aplenty. Stop being rude, I'm in a bad mood, and you know my name's 20. Now, in that poem, it says here, there's a number missing, and you might meet them later. So if you play this video back again, I purposely left out a number. You need to tell me which one it is. So, I'll do another one from my book. It's I don't know if you know, centipedes. Apparently, centipedes have 100 legs. Now, if you've got 100 legs, that's okay. But then I sit there and I think, what would be some of the problems if you had 100 legs? Well, obviously, you'd have to have 100 pairs of socks. So you'd take ages washing them. You'd have 100 pairs of shoes. Well, you'd have 100 shoes. So it'd take you ages to tie them up. And then when you go to bed, if you went to bed, you got halfway up the stairs and you forgot like your drink, you'd have to come back down, but you'd actually meet yourself on the stairs. And these are the questions that keep me awake at night. And I don't know if you know, but Centipedes come from Dublin, and they go, "Hello, how are you? You're looking grand." Here I am with a microphone and a lovely camera there, and I'm talking to all the lovely people at the Rugeley Fringe Festival. I'm going to have another little drink. So this one's called Oisín the Centipede. "Hello, how are you? You're looking grand. I was wondering, would you give me a hand? See, I'm late for work and there's no excuse. And they won't believe I was tying my shoes. See, the problem with shoes, nobody cares. I'm a centipede. I have 50 pairs. Now, I should be applying for one of those government grants because it's cost me a fortune in socks and pants. Now, 50 pairs isn't good, and I suffer badly from the athlete's foot. Well, my name's Oisín, pronounced Oisín. I'm from the land of emerald green. Now, being long has its problems too. Sure, when I go to the shop, I'm a one-man queue. I'm up in my bed and I'm saying me prayers. My head's in the bed and my bum's downstairs. Now, the kids all laugh at me as I walk the street. No, start shouting, "Hey, mister, can we count your feet?" It's tough being alone, and sadness is guaranteed. It's hard to find love when you're a centipede. I was looking for love and I was no longer afraid. Then she walked into my life, the lovely Sinead. Sinead O'Hara, she soon will be. Sure, I'll be the happiest anthropod throughout history. I love that one. So, another one I've got from this book. I've got a lovely friend called Fiona, and she'll love that. If she watches this back, she'll love that she's actually been mentioned. Now, Fiona, her birthday's the 11th of November, and I remember I wrote down a name once. I put her initials, FD, and I put 1111, and I said to her afterwards, FD 1111, it sounds like a robot. So, so this one's called FD 1111, and it's the story of me when I was dating a robot. I've been dating a robot for a couple of weeks, and she's really funny when she boops and bleeps. She's proper shiny. Her name's Fiona, from the Sunday car boot, one previous owner. What's your name was my first question. And with a whirl and a beep she's produced, I am FD 1111. Her name flashed up on the LED. It said, please call me Fee. We stay in at night and we watch television. And Fee's ever so cool with her X-ray vision. We never talk, we take the bus, because the rain's a pain and it makes her rust. She can add dead fast and do really hard divisions, and she's read all the books of Rowlings and Dickens. Algebra comes to her second nature, and she can cook toast with a built-in laser. But our love is over, I'm sad to say, because Fee walked out at me the other day. She's gone for Kev, a real smooth mover. And the best of it was, Kev was me Hoover. There you go. Right, I'm going to have a little drink, and then we're going to have another poem. Now, there's a friend of mine called Liam. He's a young man that I used to teach years ago, and we challenged each other last year. When I was on holiday, he'd send me a picture. I remember he sent me a picture of a little mouse, like sniffing a flower, and it was a beautiful little picture. And I had to write a poem about that. And then I might have sent him a poem of a pink traffic cone or whatever. Then he sent me a picture of, you know in the summer when you're going around the countryside and you see these big straw bales. It was a big round straw bale with a black top hat on the top. So it was just a bale with a top hat on the top. And I thought, that's going to be hard to write a poem about because it's a real strange combination. And but then I thought, what other strange combinations can you have? And I thought to myself, I'm going to go for strange combinations. So, and my son, I've got two boys, Leo and Ryan. And Leo, the youngest one, said to me, he says, this poem perfectly, this one, the one I'll do next called Billy Bartholomew Bicycle. He said, these are the two poems that really describes what's going on in your head, Dad. So it's called Strange Combinations. I sat there in deep concentration, thinking up some weird combinations and ones that required no explanation. So here for you are my compilations. A hat sitting on top of a bale. and mermaids with wheels instead of a tail, and tea bags that can sing, and plant pots that can dance, and rings that grow wings and they fly off to France. Chocolate that tastes of old Wellington boots, and trees upside down and the waving the roots. Onions that cry when we cut ourselves, and freestyling books that backflip off shelves. Sleeping policemen who do like to doze, and flies wearing ties and out shopping for clothes. Rainbows and scarecrows playing hopscotch at dawn, and a laughing hyena who's looking sad and forlorn. Spoons and balloons and hairy baboons, and whistling dusty old cars, they're whistling tunes. Forks that can talk in Spanish and French, and a clown with a frown asleep on a bench. Ice cubes that shiver without the coat, and a boy with a boy afloat in a boat. A phone all alone asleep in a tree, and an angry ant arm wrestling with a bumblebee. Flip-flops that ride on the back of a bike, an uprooted lamppost that go for a hike. Fridges that are totally full of compassion, and a seagull who likes to dress as a dragon. A hedgehog that reads a newspaper at night, and a fox that can box and he's up for a fight. A dog and a frog who do like to dance, and a little yellow book called Peter Pants. Do you like that one? Thank you. I love that one. It's really good. Now, my other one, this was a little girl I taught last year called Maisie, and Maisie will love the fact if she plays this back and knows her name's been mentioned, she'll love it. But last year we were talking about, in class, we were talking about alliteration. And alliteration, as you know, it's a word, it's a sentence, and the word begins with the same consonant. So it could be the big bouncy ball or the cute cuddly cat. But I was trying to think, and one of the children said, I would explain alliteration. I said, can you give me an example? I said, I don't know, Billy Bartholomew bicycle. It's a true story, this is. Amazing. Went, Billy Bartholomew bicycle. Where did that come from? And the next thing that came out of my mouth was, yeah, he's a connoisseur of fine pickled eggs. And she just shook her head. And that was the line. This is where, so people always say to me, where do your poems come from? And this was Billy Bartholomew bicycle. And he goes around the world and he collects things that are no use to anybody apart from himself. So this poem's called Billy Bartholomew bicycle. Billy Bartholomew bicycle, he was a connoisseur of fine pickled eggs. And he collected adjustable spanners and tables without any legs. He collected the weird and the wonderful from everywhere he went. 27 inflatable dinghies and a stuffed parrot he found in a tent. He collected shells, bells and sunglasses, an array of tartan pyjamas, carrier bags of different sizes, and the little stickers that you find on bananas. I love that one. Now, to finish, I'm going to do one of my favourite poems. And when I go into schools, because that's my job, I go into schools and I talk to children about well-being and mental health and poetry. So if there's schools out there that want a poet in there, give me a call. And wherever I go, children all want to hear the Scarecrow rap because it involves a little dance. And I'll tell you what the dance is. But you need to join with me. All those people over there at the back, you have to join me. So you're going to be the Scarecrow. And you have to go, oi, because scarecrows can't move. So what they have to do, they have to scare people. And it involves a little dance move. But I'll show you the dance move, but I can't do it all the time because you won't be able to hear me with a microphone. But you'll know what I'm on about when we start. So here we go. Oi! Grrr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Dance move. Wiggle your bum. Straighten your hat. Stretch out your arms. It's a Scarecrow rap. So that's the chorus. I'm going to take my jacket off this because I'm a bit warm. Do you like my shirt? My wife's going to be furious when I get home because this was the shower curtain this morning, but don't tell her. Right, so we'll do the Scarecrow rap. The only thing is, right, I'm not very good with rhyming, and it's the last rhyme of every... I just get it wrong. But if you could sort of shout out, if you could tell me, if you're at home watching this, and you could just shout out the first thing that comes into your head, that would be great. And it'll all make sense when I start. So here we go, the Scarecrow rap. Oi! Grrr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Wiggle your bum, straighten your hat, stretch out your arms, it's a Scarecrow rap. So, out, standing in my field, that's what I am told. No need for money, no need for gold. I got straw for hands, no fingers or thumb. I've got a wooden pole right up my... Who said bum then? What, you're ruining me, Pope. Stop it. It's up my back. A wooden pole right up my back. Everybody, you ruin it everywhere I go. I hate it. Stop it. Right. Oi! Grr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Dance move. Wiggle your bum. Straighten your rat. Stretch out your arms. It's a scarecrow rap. I got patches on my clothes, holes in my hat, a tartan scarf and a pink cravat. My best friends are potato pickers. I wear dungarees and frilly. No, I don't wear them. I wear frilly gloves. Gloves, it says here in the book, frilly gloves. Right, come on. Oi! Grr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Wiggle your bum, straighten your rat, stretch out your arms, it's a scarecrow rap. I'm filled with straw from head to toes, socks for ears and a button nose. On me coat, a silver star. I got a big brown belt and a lady's. No. When have you ever seen a scarecrow wearing a bra? Don't do that. It's a lady's shirt. That's what he's wearing, a lady's shirt. Come on. Right. Oi! Grr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Wiggle your bum, straighten your hat, stretch out your arms, a scarecrow rap. Last time, behave yourselves. I talk to the sheep, the horse and the cow, the man with the tan and the rusty plough. Chickens, rabbit going cock-a-doodle-doo. I hate the pigs because they're covered in. No, they're not covered in poo. They're covered in little tiny hairs. That's what you look at. Right. Oi! Grr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Wiggle your bum, straighten your rat, stretch out your arms at a scarecrow rap. So it's a hip hop hibbity hoo. Scaring crows is what I do. With a big bang boogie and a biggity boo, you can be a scarecrow too. Last time. Oi! Grr! Shove off! Boo! Scaring crows is what I do. Wiggle your bum, straighten your rat, stretch out your arms. It's a scarecrow rap. So, folks, thank you very much. I've been Pep the Poet, and all I try and do is go round scattering sunshine one poem at a time. You can follow me on all my Instagram, which is @PepThePoet, or you can contact me directly via my website, pepthepoet.co.uk. Thank you very much, and as always, just be brilliant. Thank you.